Hey, welcome everyone to another one of our heart-powered, inspiring interview series. And as you know, every single time we introduce you to a real powerhouse, to someone that is an amazing speaker, entrepreneur, expert, change maker that shares their golden nuggets so that you can grow your speaking and bring your business to a different level. And today I invited my beautiful friend, Julie Quinne, who is the founder of the Uncommon Co Okay, now there's a word that I always struggle to say, collaboratory. Okay, and so she's the founder of the Uncommon Collaboratory and the creator of the ultimate productivity navigator. Well, Julie, I'm gonna be very excited to know more about this collaboratory so that I learn how to say it properly. But anyhow, she's also a published author, mostly around the topic purpose. And we know that it's purpose that drives our speaking, makes us authentic speakers, and helps us to really get our business to a different level and make our business magnetic because people connect with our purpose because our purpose is their purpose. And she's also the author of a book called Passionately Striving and Why, which I look forward to read, Julie. She also has more than 20 years as experience as an executive level change leader for companies around the world. And today, she really helps business leaders, coaches, and consultants get more time, more peace, and more reward in return for their hard work, both in their organizations and in their lives. So, Julie, welcome. It's amazing to have you with us today.
Thank you so very much, Monique. It's wonderful to be here with you.
Great. So, let's jump right in. One of the questions we always ask at the beginning is, what are your three magical things or best practices that you do right now to bring your own speaking, your own business to the next level? What are your magical three?
That's a great question. My what I do for myself now is what I have been doing for my clients and my organizations for years, but never did for myself. So I actually recently have been able to level up and then level up again by turning my own magic that I gave to others to myself. And that's actually what I teach in my programs as well, as what are you doing for everybody else that you could use to take yourself to the next highest level? What I do specifically is I stay laser focused on my vision so that I have that straight right in front of me. What am I trying to build? By when? And what are those success metrics? And I keep those right in front of me in my office or on my phone, so that when I need to get focused or I need to push through a challenge, I know what I'm working for. That's one of the biggest things that I work with my clients on. It's the biggest thing that has helped me level up into my next stages.
Great. What are the other two?
Oh, other two, yes. So one of the things, so after vision, right? Vision is great, but there's day to day. There's distractions, there's interruptions, there's challenges, there's imposter syndrome that'll creep up, all of those things. And I kind of generally call that energy. And so am I feeling energized toward my vision, or am I feeling drained away from my vision? And so the second thing that I do is I pay attention to where my energy is. And I actually connect with myself on a daily basis to check in with that and then actually do something. And I can share with your audience a practical tip that they can use today on how to do that. So energy is the second one, is paying attention to it and taking some practical actions to increase that energy toward my vision. The third thing that I do is I pay attention to my strategy. And so vision is one thing. Where am I headed? What is it going to look like? What are the success metrics? Strategy is my written down steps that I need to take today to get closer to that vision tomorrow. And I'm very prescribed about this. This is a framework that I put in place for myself so that I can keep my eye on the prize. I can check my energy personally, and I can make sure that I have very specific steps that I know are going to get me toward that vision in a particular time period. So that's my framework. I call it the Uncommon Leadership Framework. And now that I've applied it to myself, lo and behold, it works.
It's always lovely when we realize how magical it is what we've been doing, right? I remember that, I mean, when I stepped into, a group coaching experience myself for the first time, I realized how amazing it was what I had offered for so many years, right? So
Yes,
it's always good.
yes.
I mean, then when we are on the receiving end and the implementing end too, right? It's powerful. Good. So let's go into each and every one of those in a little more detail, Julie. Okay. I'm sure that there's a lot of people here that are watching this right now that say, yes, everyone is speaking about vision. And I've been in business for a long time. But to be honest, and it doesn't matter, my friends, if you're just starting out or you've been long in the business, there's always some people that say, I don't know my vision yet. I'm just starting out. Or there's other people that say, I've been for 20 years in my vision. I've been in my business. I've even forgotten what my vision is. So how can you help people to either, how did you clarify your own vision? What were the concrete steps for you to get crystal clear on your vision? Because you say it's really one of your most important anchor points in your business. What were the concrete steps you took to get clear on your
Yeah,
vision? Or,
absolutely.
for long in the business people that said, I have even forgotten what my vision is. I'm just
Yeah,
doing what my business wants me to do. How can they
right.
start rediscovering their vision? So maybe
Right.
you can share.
That's exactly right. We can end up on that hamster wheel, right? And going really fast on that hamster wheel. And it turns out we have absolutely no idea where we're going. It's not a wheel, it's one of those hamster balls, and we're just going all around. So what I do is kind of a 6-step. The first is just dream. What does it look like when I have reached my vision of success? Key, not just in work, in life, right? So what does everything look like when it's successful? How much are you making in your business? How many people are you changing their lives? Who is in your life? Where are you located? How much rest and self-care are you getting, right? So everything. What is your relationship with your family and friends? So the first step is to really dream both work and life. The second step is to get a little more specific. So between today, where I'm here today, and whenever you want that vision to be true, what measurably, observably is different? What do you have more of? What do you have less of? Are you spending more time with your family, or are you spending less time with your family? More time traveling, less time traveling, right? So being really clear about what's more, what's less, and putting measurements on it if you can. The third step, and this is again kind of key, and why I'm called uncommon, because this isn't something every vision process has. It is, what is the impact on you and on those you care about if this vision comes true, or when this vision comes true? This is a key question, because so often we can put a vision out there and we forget that with any change, positive or otherwise, there is an impact, and some of those impacts can be unintentional. So if you grow your business, what's that going to mean to your family? What's that going to mean to your friends? What's that going to mean to the time you have to spend in self-care? It's going to mean something. And when we ask ourselves that ahead of time as part of our vision, we can then plan to overcome some of the obstacles or challenges, or maybe even change our vision if we've experienced that, oh, this is going to have an impact that I didn't think about, right? The next piece is to put a date. By when do you want that vision? And finally, turning it into a SMART goal. And your SMART goal is, by this date, I want these kinds of success metrics, and by taking these actions. The sixth piece is sitting back and reflecting on what you've done. And when you do that, check in with yourself. Are you energized and excited and you can't wait to get after this vision? Or are you feeling trepidation and concern, or, this is a lot of work? checking in with ourselves about our vision can kind of raise those flags. Is this a should kind of a vision? Like I should want these? Or is this real? Is it truly what you want? And is it energizing? So those are my 6 steps for getting a really good vision.
I love it. And it's not only steps to generate the vision, it's also actually a good, a good check-in to see, is this the real vision, right? Is this spicing me up? Is this raising my energy and passion, right?
That's right.
Beautiful. I
That's right.
also heard you speak about metrics. You say, hey, it's all about, getting clear on the vision, but at the same time also anchoring. And even in your vision creation formula, you spoke about measurable, results. So what are some of the metrics around, you looking at, do I get closer to to the vision or not? What are some of
Yes.
the most important metrics that you put in place?
Yeah, wonderful. I mean, for me, there were a couple of things, and I have them, as I said, I have them right in front of me all the time. One is I on a daily basis, I want to connect, with what I call my Sherpa, right? So it's just kind of my higher self, to just have some self-care, some self-connection, to say, what do I need to hear today, right? So I call that kind of, space, that connection, my Sherpa, because it is a place where I get some guidance around, continuing on this long journey that's life, right? So I know, am I doing that daily or am I not doing that daily? But that's part of my vision. Another part of my vision I have, kind of shorthand, is called space. And space for me means space and time for my family. I have 3 children, 22, 20, and 22, 19, and 18. And they need their mom. They need time. They need time to be themselves in a safe place. And if I'm busy working all the time, or traveling all the time, I can't be there for that. So it's important for me to have space every day. And so that's measurable. I've just put a day, right? Every day, how many times a day? And vacations. I've put 3 vacations in every single year so that I know that I have that time to recharge. So those are some metrics. They can be time, they can be quantity, they can be consistency, but having metrics so that you can say, am I on track or am I off track? Really key.
I love that. And I know I could ask you a gazillion other questions, but let me ask one more. You spoke about that, your number 3 was really making sure that you have some concrete steps in place that get you closer to your vision.
Yes.
So, what are these steps? Because I feel like a lot of people have a massive to-do list and then they
Yes.
feel overwhelmed and nothing moves forward.
Yes.
So, how do you define your steps? And you already gave us a little bit of a glimpse into it, but I think that we should have steps that keep our to-do list and our to-be list in balance, right?
Yes.
So what are some
Yes.
of the steps on your to-do list that you feel are really critical to move you closer to your vision and make progress in your business? And and still making sure that you keep your to-be balance list in check.
Yes, I have a framework for that as well, that I use myself. And the hardest thing about it is that it requires you, it guides you and requires you to be successful to say no. And that is so difficult, right? We have to say no to some things in order to say yes to what we really want. And that is the hardest lesson for me. And so what I did for myself was, if my vision, for instance, let's say I put together a vision, a practical vision. What do I want my work and life to look like in 2 years? I put those success metrics. Here's how I stay on my strategy so that I don't get overwhelmed. Well, I'll still get overwhelmed, but get less overwhelmed. 2-year strategy, right? Divide that in half. If you are going to achieve your 2-year strategy, what does life and work need to look like in 1 year? So you divide 2 by 2 and you get 1 year, right? So halfway there, what does work and life need to look like for me to know I am on my way to reach my 2-year strategy? Second step, divide that by 2. So in 6 months, what does my work and life need to look like for me to know I'm going to hit my 1 year. 6 months is a blink. It is right around the corner. And so what does that tell me about what I need on my to-do list right this second? It means I need to say no.
Yes.
And that's how I balance.
Love it. Right. Beautiful. I mean, Julie, you and I can keep talking for quite a long time, and there's always so much more to share, but I always also like to talk about one thing. I know you're a lady of action, so am I, right? And consistent action becomes a habit, and whenever we have established a new habit, it really shifts something in our life and our business. So what is one of your key success habits that got you to where you are today and to help you really keep stepping up?
Yes. I would say that every day I wake up with a busy head. My head is full of what I should do, what I could have done, what I should have done, what I have to do, what I'm excited to do. So my head is full. Every single day, I write down all the things that are in my head. Sometimes it's a very long list. But here's one thing I would suggest people give a try to. Take an energy inventory is what I call, and write down every single thing that's on your mind, that's dragging you down, that's on your shoulders, and quickly go through, is this something I can put forward and not think about right now? Is this something that I can't do anything about and can take off the list? Is this something that's really bugging me? And if so, let me deal with that one thing. And what I do to deal with that one thing is I ask myself, what am I expecting in this? What am I tolerating as a result of this? What am I beating myself up about this? I go through these questions for myself. And once I've unpacked that a bit, this could be verbally, or it could be a journaling kind of an exercise for you, whatever works for you. But once I've unpacked that, I then shift to, what do I want? I know I don't want this thing that's on my mind, but what do I want? And by doing that, what we're doing is we're working with the brain science of motivation. We're working with the neuroscience and the science of motivation. And this exercise comes from something called motivation factor. And it's a wonderful practice that when we shift from how is this impacting me that I don't want to what do I want and why, then we can create options for ourselves. What do I want to do about this? So for instance, if I've got a big interview coming up and I'm a little nervous about it, I would write that down and I would say, what do I expect? I expect that I shouldn't be nervous. I expect that my imposter syndrome should go away. I expect that, I expect all kinds of things, right? What am I tolerating? A little anxiety. What do I want? I want to do a great job connecting with the people who are going to be in front of me in this interview. What are my options for doing that? That's one thing we can do today. Energy inventory, unpack our feelings about it, decide what we do want, and create some options for that.
Beautiful. And when we have the options, take the first step right away.
Yes. First step. What will you do? With whom? By when?
Right, exactly. Okay, good. Perfect. So I know that you have so many frameworks and so many tools people could really use to get clear on their vision, make sure they have a solid roadmap on the way to get there and staying on track. Julie, how can people connect with you? Where can they find you? And I think also you had a special gift, especially for our audience. Maybe you want to mention that.
I do. Yes, you can find me at juliequinne.com. And Quinne is spelled a little uncommon. It's Quinne, juliequinne.com. And if you are interested in that energy exercise that I just shared, I do have a free gift. It's juliequinne.com/focus. And it's 5 steps to turn frustration into focused action. And you'll get that download and then also some additional support. And if it's useful for you, wonderful. And if it's not, grab that free gift and head on out.
And I guess people can find you on LinkedIn as well, can they? Can they
Oh,
connect with
yes,
you on LinkedIn?
absolutely. Yep. LinkedIn under Uncommon Julie, really any social media, Uncommon Julie, UNCOMMONJULIE, Uncommon Julie, pretty much anywhere. LinkedIn is my special place though, so come find me there.
I love the uncommon part of it. So thank you, Julie, for being on with us today. Thank you all for being on with us today. So as we said, every time when we are coming together here, we give people a little bit of a challenge. So we asked Julie about her habit, and we invite you today to also actually play with that exercise, right? Check in with your energy, right? Write down, journaling is probably the best way of doing it, right? Everything that kind of bugs you, right? And ask yourself, pick the one thing you want to address right now. What are you expecting about it? What don't you want around it? What are you expecting about it? And then again, define the options and take the first step. We're always here within our tribe, in our community to cheer you on, right? We want to know, share with us what you're doing with this, what's coming up for you. Also, let us know if we can support you in any way. That's what we are here. We are here to cheer you on, but also to support you. And I know Julie is going to keep an eye on this as well. So if any questions come up, you can ask them in our community and tribe. And we are here to support you in the best way we can. So thank you so much, Julie, for being on with us today. And thank you all for allowing us to inspire you all the time. Again, if you feel this interview is valuable for you, share it with your friends, with your network, right? Share these golden nuggets with others that really also might want to need this extra additional boost to make progress on their vision. So Julie, do you want to round it off with a couple of final inspiring words?
Oh my gosh, I just take your own medicine. You have beauty and magic inside that you give to other people. You probably aren't giving it to yourself enough. That can be part of your vision. And I wish everybody, be uncommon. That's what I tell people. Be uncommon. Take it to that next level and take your own magic.
Love it. And I think we all are uncommon, right? Okay, we all don't fit into a box. We need to get out of our box and just, be our authentic self, and that makes us uncommon. So thank you so much, Julie. I love it. All of you, okay, go out there, take action. Let us know how it's going. Okay, stay in this uplifting energy as Julie is speaking about. And as we always say, right, keep creating your own magic. Speak up, scale up, impact the world in your own powerful way. And we'll be back with another interview very soon. But before we do, again, a final thank you to Julie, and thank you to you.
Thanks so much, Monique.
We'll be in touch. All the best for now.